Hello, lovelies. So today's message is a weighted one. This message it's arriving for those of us who are feeling quiet grief beneath the surface. Those of us who are doing the work, building new habits, choosing softness over survival mode, but we're feeling unseen, behind, or forgotten. Our Yule Oracle cards here, the family appears first. This card speaks to warmth, safety, and belonging, but not in the way we often expect. It's not about the family we lost or the people who walked away. It's about the act of creating refuge, creating comfort where there was once uncertainty, choosing love in forms that are steady and reciprocal. It's choosing what calms the nervous system instead of what destabilizes it. Family is here to remind us that love doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it curls up beside you, breathes with you, and stays. This card says you're learning how to be held again, and that matters more than you realize. The next card we have today is solstice. Solstice is the quiet turning point. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't look like progress. It just arrives at the darkest moment and says the light has already begun to return. And if nothing looks different yet, that's okay. Something shifted. It's time to come back. It's time to stop descending. You're no longer losing ground. You're standing at the threshold between what was and what will be. Even if grief still lives here, you're making your way out of that darkness. Together, these two cards they're not stagnant. They're not a hold. It's a stabilizing. You're not late. You're at a turning point. And so some of our tarot cards we've got today, we have the Queen of Pentacles that opens up this spread. This is the energy you're embodying. Whether you feel it right now or not, this is you. This is the Queen of Pentacles represents grounded care, emotional maturity, and quiet strength. She builds safety patiently. She chooses nourishment over chaos. She doesn't abandon herself just because no one is watching, right? This card says the collective is learning how to tend to themselves after depletion. This is not flashy work. It's not celebrated, but it's foundational. The Six of Wands comes in next. This card reveals that little ache underneath. Everything is happening quietly under the surface, but there is a desire to be seen, to be acknowledged, to feel like the effort you're putting in matters. And this reading is just making me very emotional today because you have been doing the work. You have been feeling left out in the cold. And you're aching for this coming together, this feeling of home. Because you've been doing the work. You've been doing all the things. All the right choices, all the right work, all the exploring yourself for what truly feeds you. And there is this need for acknowledgement, to feel chosen publicly and clearly, that you aren't just left behind, right? This is the ache. When the Six of Wands also follows the Queen of Pentacles, it says you're doing meaningful work that feels invisible, and that hurts, especially when others around you seem to be moving on, right? It's just that you feel like growth is happening, but in silence. You're doing all the things, but it's almost like you can't prove it because no one's there to see it. And so if no one, it's like an observer effect that's not being observed. The next card we have here is the Seven of Cups. This is the fog, the mental exhaustion, the comparing of timelines, the what ifs, the imagined alternate lives, the experiences that you didn't have, the choices you didn't make, the questioning of the past choices you did make. This card shows a mind overwhelmed by possibility while craving certainty. The collective is standing in uncertainty right now, and I feel it. This is not because you're lost, it's because the old map no longer applies, and you're still creating the new one. You're still working on what your map will look like. The Five of Swords follows, and this card speaks directly to emotional loss without the closure, right? The battles here were never fair, endings where someone walked away lighter while you carried the weight. The situations where no one really won, even if it looks that way from the outside, right? This card says the pain is real, and it did not come from weakness. It came from caring so much, right? Caring so deeply in a situation that could not meet you halfway. It was the turning point that led you to where you are now, led you to having to do all this work by yourself. But the grief is still there. You know, you chose, it's almost like you chose you before a fight could break out, but in that choice, you lost. You lost what you thought you had. You lost what you thought you'd built. And that hurts today. Now, there is a turning point. The Empress does show up here. She brings compassion, creativity, self-worth, and renewal. She reminds us that nothing about us is broken or barren. We have everything we need. We are that fertile place where new opportunities can come from. Life is still moving through you. You've got this. Love is still growing. Confidence and joy are returning. But this time they're being rooted safely, not in scarcity. You're doing this from a place of knowing what you don't want. And so now being able to curate the life you do want, the experiences you do want to have. It's this healing of the feminine in its truest sense, receiving without proving. It's creating without forcing. It's loving, it's just this loving energy without abandoning yourself in the process. The Two of Wands comes in after that, and this card isn't asking us to act yet. It's asking us to get a better vantage point, to step back and look down on what it is we're creating, and we're something to look forward to again. It's asking us to imagine what we see ahead of us. We have this blank slate. Now it's a matter of taking a moment to take the passions and the things that light us up, to hold on to what brings us that sense of light, and to try and see it, to try and get the perspective we need to see it again, to consider a future that does not revolve around loss or validation. The direction is not fully clear, but the desire to live, to create, to expand is quietly returning. This is the spark. This is the spark that comes back, even if the fire hasn't caught up yet, right? Now, this whole reading is for those of us that are feeling sad, tired, and unsure, but you're still here. You're not useless. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're stabilizing after heartbreak. You're grieving while rebuilding your self-worth. One step at a time. You're doing the work. You're pulling away the masks and seeing what truly lies behind your desires. The light has already turned back towards you, even if that feels heavy. And that's enough for now. Thank you for tuning in to our message today. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow.